State Representative Peggy Rotundo. I represent the wonderful people of Lewiston in the Maine House, and I serve as the House Chair of the Budget Committee. It's a great honor for me today to introduce my good friend and colleague, Emily Cain. Emily's fierce advocacy for Maine families, her knowledge of the issues, and her ability to bring people together regardless of political party are unmatched. As minority leader during the first 2 years of the LePage administration, Emily set the example of the highest forms of leadership. She was the youngest woman to serve in the position of House Minority Leader in Maine's history, and she set the bar high. Democrats were in the minority after a terrible Tea Party wave shocked our state and the nation, but Emily refused to let that get in the way of standing strong for the progressive values of social and economic justice that have guided us as Democrats. The day Maine Democrats lost the House was the day Emily began planning for our path back to victory. She led our caucus with strength and civility, holding the line against Governor LePage's efforts to roll back women's rights, workers' rights, and environmental protections for our air, water, and land. Under her leadership, Democrats were a strong voice at the table for Maine families. She refused to allow Democrats to become the party of no. She refused to let gridlock and partisan strife undercut Maine families. She refused to allow state government to shut down. Because of her leadership in the House and on the campaign trail, we regained the majorities and helped stop the governor's harmful policies. Emily has never allowed partisanship to get in the way of delivering results for the people of Maine. It's easy to walk away from the table. It's much harder to stay and get something done. She has proved that staying at the table, even at the hardest and most difficult times, is critical for helping Maine people. Emily is the person you want to have around when there's a complicated problem to solve. And let me give you an example. Emily and I have served together on the Budget Writing Committee for 6 years. We've struggled together to resolve budgets in very tough economic times. When you serve on the Budget Committee, you spend your weekends together, you work into the night together, and often you work through the night together. This past spring, it was one of those nights. We as Democrats were trying to figure out how we would pay for increases in the cost of living adjustments for retired state employees. We were determined to get them this money they had been promised as part of their contract. As Democrats, we knew we needed to find the funding for our retirees because certainly the governor and our Republican colleagues were not going to be forthcoming with a solution. It was a complicated problem that at that point of the night, after hours of negotiating, seemed insurmountable. But it was clear to me, as chair of the committee, that the one person that could find a solution and bring the Republicans along was Emily. At that point, we dispatched Emily. We sent her into a room with Solomon Millett, Governor LePage's Commissioner of Administrative and Financial Services, to find a solution that would get a bipartisan vote. We were all tired. We thought that we were at a dead end, but once again, Emily came through. Only a short half hour later, she emerged from the room with her solution that would put more money in the pockets of retirees and that would also earn Republican support. She protected retirees and secured a bipartisan agreement that would actually deliver results. In my 14 years of service in the state legislature, 12 of which have been on the state's budget writing committee, I have never met anyone who is a more dedicated and effective problem solver than Emily Cain. Her work for retirees just a few months ago is only one example of a long list of victories she has won for Maine families. Where most people see a roadblock, Emily sees a path forward. She refuses to allow partisanship to get in the way of what is best for Maine. As you all know, this year lawmakers were left to balance the budget on our own without the governor for the first time in state history. This did not faze Emily. She seized the moment to protect and create opportunities for the people that Democrats fight for working families, small business owners, our seniors, our veterans, and people with disabilities. I can single-handedly credit her for finding a way to send millions of dollars back to our local public schools and to convince the Republicans to go along with it. She is a champion for Maine families. Her energy, creativity, intelligence, and compassion make her a force to reckon with. This is who Emily Cain is. And this is what has made her an effective leader in Augusta and will make her an effective leader in Congress. Will you please join me in welcoming Emily Cain to the stage?